So let's go ahead and get started. We're maybe about a minute early. I'll call this meeting to order. Please stand and say the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Is there any public comment at this time? You're later on, probably. Oh, you don't have any comment, okay.
I got questions.
Verification of posting of agenda.
Pam Moore, for the record, the agenda was posted on February 28th between the hours of 8 and 10 at the locations listed on the agenda in accordance with statutes.
Thank you, Pam. Consideration and possible action approval of agenda is submitted or revised. May I have a motion to accept the agenda as written?
I'll make the motion.
Who was that?
Andrew.
Andrew, okay. Sorry, didn't recognize your voice yet tonight.
Sounded weird. So far away.
Second?
I'll second.
Okay. We have a first and a second motion to accept the agenda as submitted. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion passed. Consideration and possible action approval of minutes of meeting held on January 24th, 2024.
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes of the meeting.
Have a second?
I'll second.
We have a first and second motion to accept the approval of the minutes of January 24th, 2024. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passed. Consideration and possible action, Wild Horse and Burro letter.
I see on Big Game Hunters, some wild horse groups have posted a notice trying to get all the wild horse supporters to attend that meeting in Vegas. So that should be a long, tedious process listening to.
When's that meeting? This weekend? Ugh,
Yeah, it's Friday.
it'd be a fun one to attend. So who is this Coalition for Healthy Nevada Lands, Wildlife, and Free Roaming Horses? Is this just some group?
It's a coalition.
Oh, not a group coalition, my bad.
Sorry.
Because, I mean, if these people are a coalition for free roaming horses, it reads like they're suggesting that the numbers be reduced. Did I read that wrong?
That's how I read it.
I mean, I don't.
No, this letter is, the way I read it is for control of wild horses.
Right.
Yeah.
Meet
And this is from a coalition for
And if you
wild
look,
horses.
yeah, if you look at the list of signatures on there, they're asking the commission to join.
Ducks Unlimited's on here too. Better sign it.
And it's pretty simple. It's just telling them to manage them at established numbers or at,
AML.
Yeah.
I'm completely okay with that, personally.
Yeah.
Everybody knows my stance on those, so. I'll make a motion to approve that letter. I don't know.
I think, like Jim said, they're asking for us to be signatory to it. Is that right? Is that what that letter was asking us to join their list? Let me get back up to that.
I'm not sure.
Bless you.
I would have to reread it, Andrew. I think they could add our name to it, ask them, they could put our name on there, I guess.
I mean, I'm for it, and but does the rest of the board agree?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I have a second to accept the letter.
Yeah, I'll second.
Trappers are on it.
Yeah.
Okay, we have a first and second motion to support the Wild Horse and Burro letter. Any discussion? There being none, call for the vote. All those in favor say aye.
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 Opposed? Motion passed. Next item, consideration and possible action, petition filed by Rebecca Goff to add a new section to Chapter 503 of the Nevada Administrative Code, hunting, fishing, trapping, miscellaneous protective measures regarding wildlife killing contests.
I'm obviously against it, but again, my opinion's pretty vocal the last couple meetings, so I don't,
It's been defeated the same proposal has been defeated 3 times in the legislature, 4 times before the Wildlife Commission over the last 4 years. And there's absolutely no justification for the commission going forward with draft regulation as her request. So I'd make a motion that for the commission to reject the petition submitted by Rebecca Goff.
I will second that.
Is that you, Andrew?
Yeah. I was trying to impersonate you.
oh, all third, fourth.
She sure had the support data on there. And she's written a whole book on the science of coyotes, which have nothing to do with calling contests.
Yeah.
Oh, it says that? Where does it say that?
Any further discussion? There being none, call for the vote. All those in favor say aye.
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 Opposed? Motion passed. Consideration and possible action, Commission General Regulation 520, tag deferral extenuating circumstances revision.
I believe this is about the second hearing on this.
Have they specified what they consider an extenuating circumstance?
I think down at the very bottom they have. I think there's a definition. Let's see.
I know there's quite a few tag deferrals. For,
Do you know the number?
no.
It's over
I'm sure
100.
you do.
It's over 100 tag deferrals.
And so some of them,
It is. I sat back a little bit. I was,
well, I mean, it definitely does affect, like,
yeah.
when you have tag deferrals and on the bighorn sheep hunts, where there's low quota on the bighorn sheep hunts, and, you know, it could be a quota of 1 or 2 or whatever, and somebody puts in for it, and might be only 1 tag available. So, yeah, it definitely does affect that. But I know there was one instance where the one guy or gal, actually in the Mormons, did a tag deferral as a non-resident in the Mormons, and he or she is basically just getting his points back because we took the Mormons off the non-resident bighorn sheep pool. So he had a tag and then doesn't have a tag.
well, I know as well about an incident where a lady that applied, who was pregnant at the time she applied, drew a tag and then requested deferral because of her pregnancy. So what? I mean, there has to be some limitation to this, because like you said, you start running into Now there's gonna be over 100 tags that get deferred, so they're not even available for draw. They are automatically getting assigned to people. And so there has to be some sort of a limitation on this. And just because your doctor says you can't, I mean, there's gotta be something in writing that says why.
So under the policy, it does state that the unexpected injury or illness must have been diagnosed before the notification of awareness draw results. So there is.
Before the draw results, not before the application.
Yeah, that's true.
So this individual was pregnant at time of application, admitted that, still got a tag deferral. Like, problem is I know for a fact the department's hands, for the most part, are tied. There's not a whole lot. If somebody comes in with a note that says, hey, my doctor says I'm 8.5 months pregnant, can't hunt, the department can't do anything about that. And that's kind of where it's,
Well, if you come in with that letter.
that says I'm 8.5 months pregnant,
Yeah, we'll defer you.
I can identify, let's not put that on the record, never mind.
You probably get away with it.
Right.
I don't see where it defines it clearly.
And I think that's kind of my frustration with tag deferral, is there's really not a clear,
I thought there was, but I don't.
there used to be, you know,
It's under policy right here, NAC 502-103.
NAC 502,
Yeah, serious illness means medical illness, physical injury.
103, where's the? Oh, and the support data?
It says to ensure consistency and fairness, participants, the department shall use NRS 232.4854 as a guide for extenuating circumstances qualifications.
I foresee that being abused unless they're very clear.
Serious illness means medical illness, physical injury, or condition that substantially affects the quality of life of a person for more than a short period of time. Serious illness or injury under statute of medical illness or injury that was unknown and unanticipated before the person was awarded the tag. The department may request additional medical information from the customer who submitted a deferral request to determine if the request qualifies.
Huh.
I can see the this part of it, but
Also says each deferral request will be reviewed compliance on an individual basis by the director or deputy director.
Therein lies the problem.
Well, there you go. Not the language.
I mean, it's already in place, isn't it? It just looks like they're adding to exclude some of the tags. For instance, if you're on an alternate, first come, first serve, restricted, non-guided, or non-resident guided, depredation, dream, heritage, or silver state. It looks like that's the only change. And some small verbiage. Oh, down here, it's very clear.
I don't see any new definition in
If you scroll down, there's a lot of
was.
examples of what they consider.
Man, obesity
Acceptable.
does not qualify. I'm out. I don't care.
I'll make a motion that we accept. Where's the number?
Regulation 520.
Regulation 520.
Have a second?
it. What was the motion?
To accept. Like I said, I don't think there's anything we can really argue on this point because it's already in effect. They're just clarifying some language and it's very little. There's 2 little highlighted spots.
Well, you said they're excluding those other tags too.
Yeah, and they're excluding the specialty tags and stuff like that. I'll second.
Any further discussion? There being none, We have a first and second motion to accept the Commission General Regulation 520. All those in favor say aye.
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 Opposed? Motion passed. Next item is Commission General Regulation 521, Junior Tag Transfer.
And this is one, that sounds good. Sure, definitely open for abuse of mama and grandma and granddad all putting in with the hopes. But whether that's really an issue, how many people would buy a license, application fee, and then hope their grandson did not draw the junior tag? It's,
But even if, they, excuse me, even if they did, they both drew, they could just turn their tag back in and get points. So essentially guaranteeing,
which then goes to an alternate, so it's not a wasted tag.
right, it's just building points.
I think the concept's pretty good.
Am I reading this that it's limited to deer tags only?
Yeah,
Yep.
that's why I read it.
Yeah.
So I'm curious where it says the minor
That's
receiving the
only junior
transfer.
tag.
The minor receiving the transfer may only receive one mule deer tag annually and must have been unsuccessful in receiving any big game tag through the main draw. So they have to apply and be unsuccessful.
Yeah.
In order to be eligible.
It is kind of interesting that they word it any big game tags though. So if Junior draws an antelope tag, you can't give him your deer tag.
Correct.
Right, because at least he has opportunity to hunt.
I'm okay with that. I mean,
Yeah.
I can remember back when the first year they ever required CITES tags for bobcats. There was a limit of 5 per licensed trapper. How many wives, grandmas, and granddads all of a sudden they became trappers just to get those 5 tags and they weren't going to trap.
so one of the things that I can foresee possibly becoming an issue is it doesn't specify that it has to be given to a family member. It just says relationship between tag holder and the minor receiving tag, but it doesn't specify what qualifies.
Nowhere does it?
So that could turn into an issue, because now somebody who's been applying for 15 or 20 years draws a blue chip unit. And there's also nothing in here that says you cannot have an exchange of goods or services for that tag. So all of a sudden, that tag can now be sold to a junior.
It can't be sold.
Why, it doesn't specify that.
Yeah, it does somewhere.
Main
There
draw.
can't be a transfer of.
That was in the deferral. It doesn't highlight that here.
Exchange of anything value include without limitation, money, goods, and/or services is strictly prohibited.
Where do you see that?
Number 11,
What's the age, 17 and below? Is that what it
Yeah.
says?
Under 18, yeah,
on page 2, I think it is.
I see it. Okay.
Does it say whether or not it changes it to a junior tag where they're able to hunt all seasons, or is it like, if,
Whatever tag up there.
so if you pull like a 18 muzzleloader that's that November hunt, that's what the junior has?
Yes.
Does it become a junior tag where he can hunt under all 3?
No,
He's strictly, whatever tag's transferred to him is it.
that's what it looks like, yeah.
I don't see any real downside. It can always be repealed at a later time if it's not beneficial. There are quite a few juniors that are not getting tags. Some of it's their own fault, and some of it's not.
Well, yeah, I mean, no matter what we decide, it can be, if people wants to take advantage of something, they're going to. I'll make a motion to approve General Regulation 521.
Second the motion.
Any further discussion? There being none, we have a first and second motion to accept Commission General Regulation 521. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passed. Consideration and possible action. Commission General Regulation 500 subdivision map review. I think we've seen this before.
I did hear that.
I don't believe it requires any action on the board. It's
Does everybody agree with Jim that no
Yeah.
action?
I agree.
Okay. Pam, do we need to vote on that? No. Okay. Next item, consideration and possible action, Commission General Regulation 511, Wildlife Management Area Designations.
This is the second or third time this has come up too, right?
Yeah, I think so.
most of it really deals with that Pole Creek and the new area over Stephill, over Ely. It does include Carson Lake under the trapping permit. But everything else, I think we've pretty well addressed in past meetings to do with shot size and rifles are still allowed at Carson Lake.
Does it limit trapping, like no trapping allowed at that Steptoe? Does it say no trapping allowed on the, on that new Success Loop property?
It does on Pole Creek and,
Oh,
but not on Carson Lake or any of the other, but with a permit. And to do with campfires on the management areas.
Okay, do we want to,
I'll make a motion to recommend approval of Commission General Regulation 511, Wildlife Management Area Regulations.
I'll second.
any further discussion? There being none, we have a first and second motion to approve Commission General Regulation 511 Wildlife Management Area Designations. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion passed. Next item, consideration and possible action, Commission Regulation 24-10, Migratory Game Bird Season, Bag Limits, Special Regulations for Waterfowl and Webless Migratory Birds, and rules regulating public hunting on wildlife management areas and designated state lands for 2024-2025 season.
Looks to me like the framework is identical, except for just adjustments of dates,
Well,
unless you
and
pick something else.
yeah, you'll notice that under Swan, the permit quota has been increased by 100.
You know what?
It's been increased by 100. The new quota is 750.
I thought that's what it was.
No, it was 650. I spoke with Russell 2 weekends ago, and he told me that that was coming out. He finally was able to get to add 100 permits to it, so.
I'll make a motion to accept the department's recommendation
I'll
for Commission Regulation 24-10.
I'll second.
Was that you, Andrew?
Yeah.
Thank you. Any further discussion? There being none, we have a motion, first motion and a second motion to accept Commission Regulation 2410. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passed. Next item is consideration of Commission Regulation 2304, Amendment 3, big game seasons for the 2024-2025 big game seasons.
It looks like the only thing on there is the change to that one elk
Yeah,
season
they-
that was,
I think they made a
yeah.
mistake in what the commission, no. I'll make a motion to accept the department's recommendation for General Regulation 23-4 Amendment Number 3.
Second,
I'll second.
any further discussion? There being none, we have a first and second motion to accept Commission Regulation 23-04, Amendment 3. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passed. The last item is consideration of possible actions, item listed on the Nevada Board of Wildlife Commissioners revised agenda. Is there anything from that, the rest of the agenda that we should discuss?
I didn't see anything. I'm a little,
To do with your
Yeah.
once in a lifetime?
yeah, I'm a little confused why that's not being discussed, why that's not on our agenda.
It's on that subcommittee's agenda, but I assume it's gonna be on future ones, but not now. If it's not on here, it can't be the commission can't discuss it. I mean, under
Thought it was on
reports
this
up
one.
above, it's not on our agenda because it wasn't an action, but they are receiving a report from that committee on tag allocation.
I don't know, I'm a little, I guess, frustrated with that whole request. The data doesn't back up what they're asking for, and I think that's part of why I'm frustrated.
Which,
The data for that specific proposal doesn't justify what's being asked.
is this,
I've got the data for how many people have truly drawn 2 sheep tags in their life.
save it for next
I'm one of
meeting.
them.
Are you one of 2
Yeah.
desert tags?
Well, my husband too.
I have,
Are you?
Yep.
Oh. Well, then you're one
and I
of
want 3.
16 people who have drawn.
Gotta be more
Oh,
than
no.
That's since 2003.
that. Oh.
Huh?
Since 2003.
That's
Only 20 years.
Oh,
I was gonna
Only
say.
20
Yeah,
years.
Yeah, and mine was before
That's
that.
a long time.
yeah, mine was 1970 and 14 years ago, or 15.
Well, I think it's been longer than that. Harmony and I have been together 20. It's probably been closer to 18 or 19 years.
Well, I've only had like 4 or 5 bonus points, and I waited my 10, I think. I don't know.
I don't know. I'd be curious when that comes out because I'm not a big fan of that.
I thought it was listed on the agenda that got emailed. And I don't see it on this one.
So no.
You can argue,
We don't have anything else.
was more supportive of once in a lifetime, and stuff you said, I think would recommend another direction, but leave it, it's not gonna accomplish anything. But That's not on the agenda, so we,
That's one I'll probably attend the commission meeting in Reno on, because I don't, there's some other things being floated around, like an age limit for sheep tags and things like that, that I'm very, very against.
oh, yeah.
Really?
Yes, they're talking about not allowing you to even apply till you're 18. And I think that's
Yeah, that's
stupid.
just something radical. Somebody,
No, that's some
you know.
pretty good information. So it's one of the things that was discussed at that meeting.
Oh.
So I'm pretty against that whole thing.
Okay. Anything else? There's some future agenda items that we need to make sure get on next month's meeting.
I'm not aware of.
Okay, any further public comment? Jason, you have anything to say?
No,
You already said what you were gonna say. You're just killing time, huh?
yeah.
Okay, I'll call for adjournment of this meeting at 7:30. Oh, that was fast.
I like it.